Good morning, Charles.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Lloyd. Have a nice holiday.
Wonderful, Charles. Simply wonderful. Rome was as exciting as ever. Well, now, how's business been since I've been away?
Oh, it's been murder. I don't mind telling you I shall be glad when winter comes round again.
Oh, come, Charles. Head office wouldn't like to hear you talk like that. Remember the company's motto? Our business is your pleasure.
Oh, yes, that's all very well, but they don't have to deal with some of the characters we get in here.
Well, that's what we're here for, Charles, to help people. You mustn't let trivial things get you down. Take a leaf out of my book. Now, I enjoy my work. Nothing gives me greater pleasure than helping someone choose their holidays. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. I wonder, could you help?
It will be a pleasure, sir.
Yes.
Is it some sort of holiday you're interested in, Mr.
Worth.
Mr. Worth, well, I'm entirely at your service. Well, now, what is it to be? A Mediterranean cruise? A few days on the continent? A flight to the sunny Bahamas? How can I help you?
Yeah. Well, I wonder, could you tell me the way to the bus station?
The bus station?
Yes, can you tell me how to get to it?
Well, I'm afraid I couldn't. I don't know where it is.
You don't? Really? This is a travel agency, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. And yet you can't tell me how to get to the bus station.
No, I'm afraid I can't.
Excuse me, sir. If you're looking at the bus station, it's first on the right, past the post office.
Thank you very much indeed. First on the right, past the post office. I should make a note of that if I... Oh, by the way, you couldn't tell me how often the buses run to Monte Carlo.
Oh, I should think that every... Monte Carlo?
I can tell by your face that you have misunderstood me. You think that I can go straight through to Monte Carlo.
No, well, I didn't.
No, don't be afraid of admitting it. That's what you thought.
Well, the thought might have crossed my mind.
I thought it might. No, I realize I can't go straight through to Monte Carlo. I'll have to change at Paris.
You are going abroad, sir?
Yes.
Well, you don't understand, Mr. Worth. You just can't go abroad without making any arrangements.
But I have made my arrangements. I've cancelled the newspapers and the milk, and I've left the cat with the people next door.
Yes, but what about an hotel?
No, the cat would not be happy. And she's very fond of the people next door. She likes them. She likes them very much.
You know, Mr. Worth, I think it's very fortunate that you came in here.
Really?
Do sit down, won't you?
Oh, thank you very much indeed. Yes.
Well, now, Mr. Hang on. Do sit on the stool.
No! I do beg your pardon.
Well, let me introduce myself. My name is Lloyd.
Lloyd? How do you do, Mr. Lloyd? It's nice to meet you.
Cigarette, Mr. Worth?
Yes, by all means. Pleasure. There you
are. No, do have one of mine.
Oh, how very kind of you. I do appreciate that. Very kind of you. No, I don't smoke. Thank you.
Now, sir, I don't think you realize that travel abroad can involve some very complicated arrangements.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as an example,
yes,
let us assume I am going to Monte Carlo.
You're not. Well, isn't that wonderful? We might be on the same bus. I'll save a seat for you. I'll watch out for you.
Mr. Worth, I have confused you.
Yeah, no.
I am not going to Monte Carlo.
Oh, you're not. You've changed your mind. Well, tell me, I must know, was it something I said?
No, but if I were going to Monte Carlo...
Yes?
I would need something. I would need my passport.
Yes.
Which you haven't got.
No, I haven't got your passport. Well, have you lost it?
Have you got a passport of your own?
No, I haven't.
Oh, then we must work fast.
Yes, work fast.
Oh, it seems you're in luck, Mr. Worth.
Really?
Yes, it just so happens that we have a cancellation for Monte Carlo on a plane leaving tonight.
Good.
Mind you, it'll mean pulling a few strings.
It sounds like a peculiar sort of play to me. Nevertheless, as long as it gets me there, that's the thing.
Do you want to be up there with that plane?
Well, I'd rather be up there with that plane than up there without it. Up there with that plane. Yes.
Well, now, we must get you a passport before tonight.
A passport, yes.
Yes. Now, this is a passport form which normally you would fill in.
Very well.
But in view of the urgency and other things, I will fill it in myself.
Thank you, yes.
Now, I take it that you were not born in Canada, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, India, Pakistan, Federation of Rhodesia and Nyasaland, Ceylon, Ghana, any British protectorate, mandated or federal territory, or in any other foreign country.
Would you mind repeating?
Where were you born?
Woodbridge General Hospital.
Nationality, British.
By Jove, yes. I'm proud of it.
Has your name ever been changed? That is to say, have you ever been called anything other than Harry Worth?
No. No? Oh, yes.
You have? Oh, good. What was it?
Dimples. Auntie used to call me Dimples when I was a small boy.
Auntie called you Dimples when you were a small boy. Hair?
Yes.
Black. Eyes?
2.
Color of eyes? Hazel. Have you any special peculiarities?
Isn't that a rather personal question?
Have you any marks or scars on your body anywhere?
Well, as a matter of fact, there is one. It's about the same place as the dimples.
Yes, quite so, Mr. Worth. But I can't write that on the form.
Why can't you spell it?
None. Now, listen to me very carefully, Mr. Worth. I want you to take this form to a photographer and ask him to take 2 passport photographs, making sure that they comply with the regulations. Full face.
Yes.
Then take the photographs and the form to be certified by a responsible person, such as Member of Parliament, a police officer, or a bank official. Bring them back here, and with a bit of luck, we'll have you on that plane tonight. Is that clear?
Yes, I understand. I take this to a photographer, look him full in the face. Having had my photograph taken, I go to the post office, bank, or a doctor to get myself certified, correct?
Well, I suppose that's as near as we'll get it.
Well, thank you, Mr. Lloyd. You've been most helpful. Oh, just one more thing before I go. You won't say a word to anyone about Dimples, will you? Dimples!
Here you are, Mr. Price.
Oh, thank you, Gillian, dear. Thank you very much. Perfect. The final touch. What do you think of it, Gillian?
They're beautiful. You're bound to win the first prize this year.
Oh, that's very kind of you to say so. Very kind indeed. Now, what about a title?
Still alive?
Oh, no, not that old thing. What about Fruit in Focus? That sounds rather good, don't you think? Fruit in Focus by Rodney Price.
That's wonderful. While you're taking it, will it be all right if I pop out for the sandwiches?
Of course, my dear, but don't be long. Lady Cartwright will be ringing up soon about her daughter's photograph. Run along, dear.
I'll be as quick as I can.
Bye-bye. Fruit in Focus. Oh, yes, the plate.
That's right. Is there anyone in? Oh, that's nice.
My apple!
I beg your pardon.
You're eating my apple! Oh,
Well, I didn't know it was your apple. It's nothing to get distressed about. Have a banana.
Don't you realize what you've done? You've ruined my picture. Fruit in focus. That apple was my focal point. Now look at it. Oh.
Well, all you've got to do is turn it around. Now, who is to know the difference? And I won't breathe a word to a soul.
What do you want, anyway?
Ah, yes, I want a couple of photographs. I'm in rather a hurry. You see, I must have the photographs or I can't get my ticket.
Well, that's Gillian's department, but as she's out, I suppose I'd better deal with it. Can I have your ticket?
Well, I just explained to you I don't get the ticket until I get the photographs.
Look, I don't understand. You have had a photograph taken.
Yes.
Good. What is your name?
Worth.
Worth. When did you have it taken?
Easter.
Easter. Now, let us see. Are you sure?
Oh, definitely.
That's very funny. I've no record of it.
Well, I've been looking at you. I don't remember you on the Ponds End Bowling Club outing.
No, as a matter of fact, the Ponds End Bowling Club outing?
We stopped at this tea shop and the driver took a snap of Auntie and myself.
Look, Mr. Worth, we appear to be talking at cross purposes. Have I ever taken your photograph?
Were you ever on the promenade at Clacton?
Clacton? Never.
Trafalgar Square with the pigeons?
No.
Woodbridge and District Hockey League final?
Definitely not.
You've never taken my photograph.
Oh, this is so confusing. Oh, just a moment. Now I see it. You've come to have a photograph taken.
Yes, passport photograph.
Oh. Silly me, I am sorry. I do apologize. My fault entirely. Now, if you'll just sit down there, I'll do it straight away. You've come to have it taken. Oh, dear. And would you mind removing your hat?
Not at all.
Oh, that's very, very funny, Mr. Worth.
Why?
When I look through the... Now, don't move. Keep perfectly still. I said perfectly still.
Unfortunately, my nose, it is itching.
Yes, all right. Hold it, hold it. Mr. Worth,
Yes?
hold your position, not your nose.
Oh, I beg your pardon.
Yes. All right, now, head up just a little. No, that's too much. Down a bit, sir. Down a bit. No, over to the left. No, to the left, Mr. Worth. Yes, that's right, over there. No, that's too far. Back a little. Now, down.
I know what you're doing now. You're taking 48 photographs and you're picking out the best two. I didn't realize. Go on, you start taking. I'm ready.
No, please. Mr. Worth, you must keep still. I'm just not getting you properly.
Well, don't you think it would be a lot better if you didn't keep popping your head under that cloth?
Will you sit down?
Photographer, you'll never get a job with the British Council of Industrial Design. Never, never.
All right, now. Here we go. Steady.
What?
Steady. Got it. Thank goodness. That was a bit of an effort, wasn't it? But we made it. Now, if you'll just give me a moment, I'll get this developed. Oh.
Eccentric. Hello?
This is Lady Cartwright.
Oh. How do you do, madame?
Is that the photographer?
Yes, it is.
Well, I'm inquiring about my daughter's photograph. Is it ready yet?
Oh, well, I don't know. You see, well, just a moment. There are some photographs here. I'll describe this one. Does it sound like it? Small, fair hair, fresh complexion.
Yes, that sounds like her.
Yes.
Is she standing by the piano holding a bouquet?
No, she's lying on a rug playing with a rattle.
I beg your pardon. My daughter's 21.
Is she really? Well, don't you think she ought to wear a few more clothes?
Really, young man, you're extremely discourteous.
But I didn't mean to be. Look, just hang. I'll get Mr. Price.
Don't bother. He's the last person I want to speak to.
But he may want to speak to you. Just one moment. Mr. Price, there's some... Oh, I can't see you. You're in the dark. I'll put the light on.
No, don't. Oh! Mr. Worth, do you realize what you've done? You've just ruined your photograph. I was in the dark.
Well, I'm a little confused myself. What would a young lady be doing lying on a rug playing with a rattle?
What on earth are you talking about?
Lady Cartwright was on the show.
Lady Cartwright, oh, I must speak to her. Hello, Lady Cartwright. Hello? Hello? She's hung up?
Yes, yes. No, it's nothing to worry about. She made it quite clear that you were the last person she wanted to speak to. Well, come along. What about my passport photographs, please?
You have to start all over again.
Come along quickly. I've got to see my MP at 5:15. Right? 48 photographs, the best do. Off you go.
Lastly, I would stress that this matter requires... Oh, dear.
Hello. Oh, yes. Just one moment, please. It's for you, sir.
Okay. Hello, Johnson here. Yes, I am the member for Woodbridge. Who? Worth? Oh, what does he want? What? Oh, very urgent. Oh, very well, Sergeant. You better send him up. Right, now, where were we?
Would stress that this matter...
Ah, yes, would stress that this matter requires immediate attention. Any further delay would not only be inadvisable, but extremely dangerous. Come in. Speed is most essential. We cannot afford to put off until tomorrow what must be done today. Now, how does that sound?
Excellent. I couldn't agree more. I must get it done today, that's true. And don't forget they close at 5:30.
I beg your pardon? Oh, of course. You must be Mr. Worth.
Yes, how do you do? I'm so glad that you remembered me, although it's not surprising, really. I did vote for you at the last election. Craig for Woodbridge.
My name is Johnson. Craig was my opponent.
Well, nevertheless, you did get in, didn't you? I'm sure you'll make a success of it.
Thank you. Miss Clifton, you may go now. I'll call you when I need you. Now, come along, Mr. Worth. Kindly sit down.
Thank you.
Now, Mr. Worth, I must impress upon you that I have very little spare time. I am due back in the house in a few moments.
Well, far be from me to keep your wife waiting. So, I will come straight to the point. I want you to certify me.
Certify you?
Now, I can see I've confused you. You see, you are in Section 3 between old Dr. Bell and the police. Now, it's no use going to old Dr. Bell because he's not well. Well, he wasn't the last time I left him. And as for the police, I'd rather leave them out of it. So you were the obvious choice.
Mr. Worth, I do not know what on earth you are talking about.
In a nutshell, my passport application form, would you please sign?
Mr. Worth, do you mean to say that you have come here and interrupted my work just to ask me to sign this form?
No, no, there's the photographs as well.
Really, Mr. Worth, I do try to help my constituents in every possible way, but I think you are going too far.
Do you think so? Well, it's farther than I've ever been before. It's the first time I've been abroad, you know. That's why I require a passport.
Mr. Worth.
Yes.
This is most irregular. You know perfectly well that I cannot sign this form. The regulations clearly state that whoever signs this form must be personally known to the applicant. Now, to my knowledge, we have never met before.
Ah, but we have. The night you were elected at your celebration ball. Don't you remember I excused you during the Paul Jones? We danced a few steps together. Until you quite rightly pointed out that I should have been dancing with the girl. Incidentally, might I say in passing, you cha-cha'd extremely well. Ah, yes, we know each other. Would you please sign? I can be off.
Mr. Worth, I'm afraid you don't quite appreciate the position. These regulations are made to prevent passports from falling into the hands of the wrong people. Now, anyone can come into my office, sit just where you are, and say that their name is Harry Worth. But can you prove it?
Very, very simple. Would you just look on the inside of my collar? See what it says?
TK512.
Exactly, the laundry mark. Now, if you'll just ring up the Express Laundry, they will tell you that laundry mark TK512 belongs to...
Belongs to Harry Worth.
No, to George Conway. Isn't it intriguing? Now, you see, my laundry mark is TK511, but they keep getting our shirts mixed up. But if you care to get in touch with Mr. Conway, he will tell you that he's wearing one of my shirts.
I have no intention of getting in touch with Mr. Conway.
Well, it's a pity, really, because if you had, you could tell him to starch my collars before he returns the shirts.
Mr. Worth.
Yes?
You did say you were leaving country, didn't you?
I did, yes.
How delightful. There you are, Mr. Worth, and bon voyage.
Oh, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure to meet you. You've been very helpful, and I appreciate it. In fact, I appreciate it so much that at the next election, I shall not vote Liberal or Labour. My vote will go to the Conservative Party.
Oh, I wonder where he's got to. It's 25 minutes to 6. We should have been closed 5 minutes ago.
I thought he telephoned to say he was on his way back from Westminster.
He telephoned all right from Kew Gardens.
Kew Gardens?
How anyone can get on a train at Westminster to come here to Victoria, 2 stops, and end up at Kew Gardens beats me. Well, I'm going now, Charles.
What?
I'll leave you to hang on.
Oh, no, please don't leave
Now,
me
Charles,
with
I know Mr. Worth isn't the easiest person to deal with, but he is a customer. But how anyone can get on at Westminster to come here to Victoria, 2 stops, and end up at Kew Gardens beats me.
Well, I think I can help you. I've just made the same journey myself.
Well, now, Mr. Worth, how did you get on? Everything signed all right?
Yes, thank you. I got my passport and everything.
Well, now, there's just the question of money. How much were you thinking of taking?
Well, I don't want to take cash, so I'll just take my post office savings book.
Your post office savings book won't be very much use to you over there, Mr. Worth.
Ah, well, in that case, I'll just carry cash.
I think I ought to advise you that under the International Monetary Agreement,
yes,
the government only allow you £250 foreign travel allowance.
Only? I think that's very generous of them. Ah, yes, it will come in very handy.
Mr. Worth.
Yes.
Would you do me a favor?
Yes.
Trust me.
Ah, but I do.
That's all I ask. Just trust me.
I do.
Now, I am going to arrange for you to take £20 in francs.
Yes, sir.
And £30 in traveller's checks. Now, please don't ask me why.
Why?
I said don't ask me why.
Ah, but I wasn't asking you why you were giving me the money. I was asking you why I didn't have to say why.
Never mind why. Never mind why. Just enjoy yourself.
Oh, I will. There's only one thing worries me, you know, the language difficulty. In fact, I've bought myself a phrase book. You might care to listen to me, would you? I've got it written down here somewhere. Now, listen to this. Où est l'entrée de l'hôpital? J'ai perdu ma parapluie.
I beg your pardon.
Où est l'entrée de l'hôpital? J'ai perdu ma parapluie.
Do you realize what you've just said?
No, but I think it will come in very useful.
Yes, I'm sure it will. Where is the entrance to the hospital? I have lost my umbrella.
There you are. You understood me immediately. Very good. It will come in very useful. It's very odd, but I'm always losing my umbrella.
Well, here are your papers, Mr. Worth.
Thank you very much.
And I hope you have a good time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, bon voyage.
Bon voyage. I wonder what that is in French. You don't know? Ah, well, c'est la vie.
Charles,
Yes, Mr. Lloyd?
book me a few days' holiday. Anywhere, I don't care.
But, Mr. Lloyd, you've only just come back.
I know I've only just come back. That's where I made my mistake.
De bagage. Bonjour. Je suis aux Anglais, Angleterre. English.
You're still in England, sir.
Oh.
You'll have plenty of time for that when you get across the other side.
Well, thank you, Captain.
I'm not a captain, sir.
Maybe you're not, but with perseverance and hard work, who knows, one day.
Can I see your papers, please, sir?
Yes, I've hardly had time to look at them, but you're...
Not your newspapers, sir, your passport. Have you got a passport?
I most certainly have.
Well, may I see it, please?
You can. It may take a little time, but as long as you're agreeable. It's in my inside pocket.
Your inside pocket.
Of my sports coat.
And where's your sports coat?
Now, I must refer at this juncture to my list. I did tell you it might take a little time, didn't I? You don't mind. Here we are, list. Alarm clock, yes. Hot water bottle. Ah, it's in the green suitcase.
Well, it may have escaped your notice, sir, but both these suitcases are blue.
Yes, that's quite true, yes.
Then why are we talking about a green one?
Temper, temper, temper. You'll never become a captain that way. Now, it's very simple. Listen to my explanation. I had trouble closing the green case, sat on the lid, broke it. But I transferred everything into another case.
Well, there's only two here, so it must be one of these, isn't it?
That's true.
Let's start with this one, shall we?
Yes.
You got the key, sir?
Yes, and it's very safe. It's on a piece of string.
And where's the piece of string?
Inside the case.
How can I open the case if I haven't got the key?
Excuse me. You see, here is the case. Now, there are two locks. There's a catch there and the catch there. You press one way, one the other, and the case will conceal.
Thank you.
Not at all.
What's all this, then?
Well, obviously, this is a packet of cornflakes. I always like the family size. Kippers, bacon, half-dozen eggs, and a jar of Auntie's homemade marmalade.
What's all this for? You going camping or something?
No, but I've read about these continental breakfasts, so I decided to take some food with me. I always like to start the day with a good meal.
Well, you're going to have some trouble getting this lot through on the other side. The French customs are very hot.
You don't have to tell me. I saw a French film the other day. Now, there was a young lady having a bath.
Yes, all right, sir. No harm about that.
You could see right up...
Yes, right. Thank you very much. Now, what about your passport?
Well, we've established that it is not in there, right? Shall we try this one? Ah, there we are.
That's not a passport, sir.
Read it. Read what it says on it. There you go. Read it.
Your passport is in your overcoat.
Voila!
Thank you, sir. Well, strangely enough, that seems to be in order. Thank you. Oh, your money, Mr. Worth.
Oh, not exactly my money. It belongs to Auntie. You see, I'm bringing one or two things back with me, such as cognac, perfume, one or two cameras, that sort of thing. I understand these things are much cheaper over there. Is there anything at all that I can bring back for you? A few cigarettes, possibly?
No, thank you, sir. And I think I ought to warn you that if you're thinking of bringing anything back without declaring it, you're liable to a heavy fine. Trying to evade the customs is a serious offense.
Yes, and it's very kind of you to warn me. Perhaps you could advise me the best method of smuggling them in.
Look, do you know who you're talking to, sir? I am a customs officer.
And it's lucky I met you. After all, you know all the little dodgers.
Well, Tompkins, what's the hold-up here?
There's no hold-up. This gentleman was advising me on the best method of evading the customs on my return.
What's this about evading the customs? Now, sir, I think I'd better warn you that if you have any idea of smuggling over any goods for your friends, it's me you have to think of.
Ah, but I will think of you, yes. Let me look at you. You look like the cigar type of man. Cigars for you, cigarettes for you.
Out of the door, sir. Second gate on the right.
Thank you.
Goodbye, sir. And may I hope that you have a very pleasant flight.
Monsieur. monsieur. Au revoir. Au revoir.
There you are, Tompkins. You see, it only needs a little tact and understanding.
Yes, sir. Any cornflakes, kippers, bacon, eggs, string, marmalade, or filter-tip cigarettes?
Yes, well, so here I am. Mind you, there was a bit of trouble with the passport, but I managed to get everything done in time. It's a pity I got on the wrong plane, but still. The Isle of Man, it's a very nice place. I like it here. Mind you, if you could just change me a 10-franc note, I might be able to get myself a cup of tea. There's a change in the weather, you know. There's a definite... It's a funny weather, isn't it? Funny.